It's the kind of thing most people don't like to talk about. When you can't stop sweating down there, you don't exactly want to put out an ad in the yellow pages letting everyone know about it. Groin sweating affects millions of people, and although so many are desperately searching for a solution, very few are providing one. I think that's because it's such a taboo problem. The term alone has a connotation of bad hygiene. And what guy or girl wants to admit that they've actually had such a problem, let alone spend their time outlining a plan of attack? Well, my friends, fortunately for you, I am that guy. Also, I can tell you, if the embarrassment of groin sweating isn't enough to make you search for an alternative solution, certainly the discomfort is. The constant perspiration in your groin and inner thighs causes terrible irritation, rashes, dryness, odor, and a whole bunch of other problems. Here, you'll discover the 7 most effective and useful tactics for putting groin sweat to bed and pronto. So let's get started and stop the sweat for good. The first step is what I like to call cool down before you start up. In order to start this process off on the right foot, it's important that all your showers end in cold water. You don't have to freeze yourself right out of the shower. In the beginning, use warm water to wash off. But as you get to the end of the shower, gradually lower the temperature of the water until the last minute where you're essentially showering your goodies, with a super cold soak. And it's only going to be a little uncomfortable for a minute, but this technique avoids that annoying situation where you start sweating the moment you step out of the shower. It's also going to give you a nice head start for the next technique. Powdering your parts. Once you get out of the shower, dry off thoroughly. And I mean thoroughly. You don't want any kind of wetness in your nether regions. So get aggressive with that towel. Own every crevice. Apply a fairly generous amount of talcum powder to your groin, buttocks, inner thighs, and undercarriage. Yes, undercarriage. That's my fancy medical term. The talcum powder will absorb any moisture that may come about during the day, and if you do sweat, the perspiration will mix with the talcum and evaporate the powder, leaving you dry with a fresh scent. Also, if talcum powder isn't enough to do the job, you may want to try Goldbond's medical powder. You can get this at most drugstores. It works very well. Goldbond's has a cooling effect, so it will actually make your groin feel cooler, which it's an interesting sensation the first time. But I love this stuff. Goldbond's also neutralizes itching and irritation. So if the skin down there is already a bit sensitive or chafed, this is going to be a tremendous relief for you. The third step is wearing breathables. And I know this sounds like simple advice, but the very first item you need to check off on your list is breathable underwear. If you're not wearing cotton, you're doomed to fail at overcoming this problem. Most of the time, breathable underwear, it won't be enough to cure groin sweating alone. However, it will help you along by strengthening the power of the previous solutions. Step 4 is deodorizing your thighs. Now, I know this sounds strange, but layering on a thin coat of gentle deodorant will do wonders if you sweat from your inguinal region, which is a fancy word for your inner thighs. This crease between your groin and inner thigh is where the problem generally starts. Now, don't go putting deodorant on your groin. That has bad idea written all over it. Instead, try a very gentle antiperspirant like hydrosol gel or even Groin on your inner thigh. And remember, this is very sensitive skin, so if irritation occurs, you want to stop immediately. Step 5 is avoid loose-fitting underwear. And although it should be breathable, your underwear should be snug as well. If clothes or underwear are too loose, for men especially, your thighs will rub against your groin more directly and cause the sweating to begin. Now, this might go against the theory. Oftentimes men especially, they're encouraged to wear boxer shorts if they want to increase sperm count to lower the temperature, in their groin. But you want to avoid boxer shorts specifically to avoid the skin-on-skin rubbing, which causes the sweating. So boxer briefs work very, very well. You want to heal any chafing, and this is very important. Before you do any of this stuff, make sure you're dealing with a healthy situation down there. If you have chafing or a rash from prior sweating, make sure you attend to the irritation before drying out the area. Now, I mentioned Goldbond's powder earlier for preventing the sweat. The brand also has a healing lotion made specifically for chafed skin. You can also use Eucerin Cream or Aquaphor, which are two moisturizing lotions to treat the affected area. They also work very well. And finally, number 7, you want to cut down on cutting down. And what I mean by this is, if you normally shave your spot down there, or are a little aggressive with a scissor and trimming, you may want to hold off for at least a little while, or at least adjust the frequency of your intimate haircut schedule. Although less hair in your groin will definitely decrease the amount of sweating, it will encourage irritation and chafing, and that's something we're trying to avoid here. Start with these 7 steps and you're going to be off to a great start. Now, there are more advanced treatments. You can engage in Botox for groin sweating, and it's usually done on the inner thigh. But don't run away with the idea of such an extreme remedy until you've tried out these practical ones. Also, if you like these ideas, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. You'll want to check out my top 12 sweating treatments at my website, www.prevent-sweating.com. And on the site, you can watch a free video called Sweat-Free Tactics. There you'll discover the most effective 12 sweating treatments in step-by-step format. And the home remedies cure facial sweating, foot sweating, underarm sweating, hand sweating, and yes, even groin sweating. So start today and end your excessive sweating in minutes. That's it for today. Take care. Bye-bye.